Play.
And she's going to have another match point, ladies and gentlemen. It is advantage Alex Eala here on her serve in Ilkley at this round of 32 clash. Eala to serve, match point up. It's her second match point of the match, having had one on the Cabrera serve in the previous game. She wasn't able to take it then. Is she able to take it now? We're about to find out as she steps up to the service line at advantage for the Filipino against her Australian opponent. Desperate she will be to get over the finish line. It has been a bit of a struggle for her to do so thus far, but she does. She gets over the line and wins by 7-6, 6-3 over Cabrera. Wow, Cabrera had a chance there at break point at 30-40, but wasn't able to take it. The story of the match goes as follows. Cabrera raced into a 3-1 lead with an early break, but she wasn't able to consolidate for 4-1. That would have meant she'd have had 1 foot, at least in terms of her first set advantage, but she wasn't able to. Eala broke back, winning back-to-back games, and she broke and then held for 3-all. Eala did have a break point to go up a break in that first set, but wasn't able to take that. The slicing and also the drop shot and also the volleys, by the way, for Cabrera were working in that first set as they then headed into the tiebreak as both held serve 6 times in a row. Well, of course, there was a crucial double fault for Cabrera both in the first set and the second set. The first set, by the way, that double fault, she hit just 2 double faults in the entire match. Here we go. We've got the stats finally. Just 2 double faults from Cabrera in the entire match, but they could not have come at a worse time. The first one at 4-all in that first set tiebreak, which gave the advantage to Eala, which she took with both hands by then winning back-to-back points and sealing the first set. The second double fault came as she was hanging on at 2-3 to her serve in the second set. Eala goes on to break, gets a 4-2 advantage, and it's a break advantage that she doesn't cede. So 2 double faults off the racket of Cabrera, and they could not have come at a worse time for the Australian. 7 aces from the Australian compared to Alex just getting 2. 2 double faults from Alex, but Alex did garner a lot of breakpoint opportunities today. He was able to take 2 of them, 2 from 8, whereas Cabrera was 1 from 5. Let's see if we can get some more stats for you on the screen as well. First serve percentages, both there getting over 60% of their first serves, and first serve points won. Very important that Alex just basically winning both the first serve and second point serve. Statistical dynamic. Yep, total points won, 53 for Alex and 44 for Cabrera. So it was a pretty tight affair, but ultimately it was one that Eala was able to emerge from the winner from. So that brings the match to a close, but also this live stream. Alex Eala has won 7-6, 6-3 over Cabrera. She will play Ryser in the second round in Ilkley. That's the first win for, of course, Alex on the grass this season, having lost her first round clash to Favritova last week in Birmingham in straight sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
And she's going to have another match point, ladies and gentlemen. It is advantage Alex Eala here on her serve in Ilkley at this round of 32 clash. Eala to serve, match point up. It's her second match point of the match, having had one on the Cabrera serve in the previous game. She wasn't able to take it then. Is she able to take it now? We're about to find out as she steps up to the service line at advantage for the Filipino against her Australian opponent. Desperate she will be to get over the finish line. It has been a bit of a struggle for her to do so thus far, but she does. She gets over the line and wins by 7-6, 6-3 over Cabrera. Wow, Cabrera had a chance there at break point at 30-40, but wasn't able to take it. The story of the match goes as follows. Cabrera raced into a 3-1 lead with an early break, but she wasn't able to consolidate for 4-1. That would have meant she'd have had 1 foot, at least in terms of her first set advantage, but she wasn't able to. Eala broke back, winning back-to-back games, and she broke and then held for 3-all. Eala did have a break point to go up a break in that first set, but wasn't able to take that. The slicing and also the drop shot and also the volleys, by the way, for Cabrera were working in that first set as they then headed into the tiebreak as both held serve 6 times in a row. Well, of course, there was a crucial double fault for Cabrera both in the first set and the second set. The first set, by the way, that double fault, she hit just 2 double faults in the entire match. Here we go. We've got the stats finally. Just 2 double faults from Cabrera in the entire match, but they could not have come at a worse time. The first one at 4-all in that first set tiebreak, which gave the advantage to Eala, which she took with both hands by then winning back-to-back points and sealing the first set. The second double fault came as she was hanging on at 2-3 to her serve in the second set. Eala goes on to break, gets a 4-2 advantage, and it's a break advantage that she doesn't cede. So 2 double faults off the racket of Cabrera, and they could not have come at a worse time for the Australian. 7 aces from the Australian compared to Alex just getting 2. 2 double faults from Alex, but Alex did garner a lot of breakpoint opportunities today. He was able to take 2 of them, 2 from 8, whereas Cabrera was 1 from 5. Let's see if we can get some more stats for you on the screen as well. First serve percentages, both there getting over 60% of their first serves, and first serve points won. Very important that Alex just basically winning both the first serve and second point serve statistical dynamic. Yep, total points won, 53 for Alex and 44 for Cabrera. So it was a pretty tight affair, but ultimately it was one that Eala was able to emerge from the winner from. So that brings the match to a close, but also this live stream. Alex Eala has won 7-6, 6-3 over Cabrera. She will play Ryser in the second round in Ilkley. That's the first win for, of course, Alex on the grass this season, having lost her first round clash to Favritova last week in Birmingham in straight sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
All right, Alex, thanks for joining Talking
for
Tennis
having me.
today. Thank you. First thing is just tell us about your win that you had yesterday in the singles.
Well, it was a tough win, definitely. A lot of challenges with the weather, changing conditions. So I think it was a great way to start off the clay season.
Cool. Talking of clay, where are we at with your game and your preference? Clay, grass, hard? What's your sort of preferred condition?
I prefer hard court. It's the one I grew up in. And I think my game naturally is more suited to that, but I've been playing on clay for a long time as well. It's true that the clay season is shorter, much shorter than the hard season, but I love clay, and I'm just trying to get it to love me back.
Good. You're going to be playing Udvardi next. Do you know much about her? And tell us what you're thinking ahead of that match.
I've seen her around quite often. I've never played her before, but I think that's adds to the excitement of the match. But trying to go in with the same mindset as the match before, trying to stick with my shots and trust my tennis.
Doubles with Katie today. Of course, you lost, but you beat her in Miami. Did you talk about that match at all?
No, we haven't. She did congratulate me on that whole week, and she's a great sportsman. I think she's super nice, and we get along well. So I really enjoyed that doubles, even though we couldn't end up taking the win. But it's fun with her. Yeah.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Nothing much.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What about this? World number 1 or Grand Slam, if you could choose one?
Grand Slam.
Okay.
Hands down.
Which
Slam. Wimbledon.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
But both. I mean, if I could, I would choose both. Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. Okay. Have you heard about these comparisons maybe with Leylah Fernandez? I mean, obviously in terms of your game, you're both lefties. You both sometimes take the ball early. Are you familiar with these comparisons, and how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not really familiar with those comparisons, but I think Leylah's a great player. Obviously, she did the final in US Open a couple of years back, so she's a trailblazer in her own way. I think I'm not so close with her. We've had a couple of interactions, but she seems like a nice girl, so not mad about that comparison at all. She's a good player. Yeah.
Have you got a favorite shot? If I'm going to give you a shot, and this is match point to win Wimbledon, what is it?
That's a good question. They asked me which one I prefer the other day, forehand and backhand. I was also kind of on the edge. I would say maybe a backhand cross court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross court winner.
But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. There's so many things that can happen during the match. Depends on the opponent, the court. But yeah, I think that one has been there from the beginning. Like now, I definitely have a lot of weapons aside from that I've been working on. But I feel like that backhand just came natural from the beginning. Yeah.
And have you ever dreamt, and then you fall to the grass, for example, at Wimbledon? Have you ever dreamt about that?
I think everybody's dreamt of that. Yeah, I have. So, yes.
All right, I'm going to show you some pictures now, and I want you to tell me the first thing that kind of comes into your mind, or just some of your thoughts. So.
Yeah, this was, I believe, in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. I won like the Little Mo Grand Slam. It was, you had to get that trophy. The trophy, as you can see, is bigger than I am.
Yeah.
It was like the tallest trophy ever presented in junior tennis or something like that. That was a big thing, and we had to take it apart and ship it back home in a box. Yeah, so I bet that was difficult for my parents, but there's my brother as well. He competed also, and he was like 2 points away from winning that same trophy.
Oh.
Yeah, but such a happy memory in my young childhood. Yeah.
Do you ever think about some of these moments when you're on the court? Do you ever think about your childhood? Do you ever think about something like this?
No, on the court, no, I don't think about it. Definitely comes to mind when I start reminiscing on my whole journey, on what I've achieved in the past month. But on the court, it doesn't pop into my head. Yeah.
Okay, Amazon Prime documentary. That's what this, because this is when I first became aware of you. What are your thoughts now, a few years later, on that?
I don't know. I think a lot of people got to know me through this documentary. So obviously a big privilege to be part of that. A lot of people will come, "Oh, are you the girl from Amazon Prime?" Yes, that's me. So now hopefully I'll be known for more things than that.
For sure.
But this is it's so nice to have these memories and these moments captured on camera.
Yeah, cool. US Open junior title. I was there when you won
You
that.
were
Yes, I
there.
was. Yeah,
Okay.
just as a fan, but yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was such a precious moment. I feel it was so full of emotion, and yeah, I started crying, and I feel like, of course, Junior Grand Slam doesn't guarantee anything for the future, but it's a huge achievement, you know, and it's still a decoration, you know. Um, I think just the word Grand Slam and to win it in those courts, I feel representing my country, it was a big deal. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, representing your country is something I want to speak to you about, because this image here is sort of also about being from the Philippines and being a professional tennis player. What does it mean?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest advantage of representing my country is the community, you know, and the pride that I'm able to bring when I do well to my people, and they come out, they support, they really make the effort. So I'm so appreciative. Yeah.
Cool. Next one is graduation from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Obviously, Iga and Rafa were there present. What did that mean to you when that happened?
I was super excited because every year I would see who was the celebrity guest or who was the guest speaker at each graduation. And I remember there was Roger, I think Paul Gasol was there one year, and I was so excited when it was Iga because she had just come off a slam win or something.
Yeah, I think the
Roland
French Open was the
Garros,
week
yeah.
before, because Rafa just lost to Novak, I remember.
Yeah, I remember, and no, it was super happy, and I think Iga told me that I remember that she said she'll see me around on tour, and I was like so excited, you know, and it happened. Yeah, it definitely happened.
She did see you around. This is after the win against Iga.
I know. I've watched that video so many times, and it's just so heartwarming. I really tried to just stay in the moment and remember everything, how it felt to be there. But funny story, like I can't really remember anymore. Like I can't really remember what I saw or that moment right after the ball went out. So, but
Do you remember how you were feeling or thinking on match point, or is it almost like you're watching just the video and you don't remember it?
no, yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, I think I felt
It was on the turn, right?
Yeah, normally when match point comes against these big players, you know, you're trying to get yourself to stop thinking about what would happen if you win, because, you know, but those thoughts didn't come to me at all during the match. I feel I was in a state of such focus that, you know, and I couldn't really believe it when I won. Yeah.
Cool. Then this went viral. This moment that you had afterwards, where obviously you'd lost to Jessica, but you know I was watching this on TV and I thought, wow, this is amazing.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Samaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. We are here to walk us through take us through, run us through. Alex Eala against the Swiss player Valentina Ryser. As we can see, Eala is serving first, so a mini advantage for the Filipina here, and she is serving with a game point at 40-30. Over on the center court, we have Emily Appleton, the British player, up against the Canadian number 8 seed, Rebecca Marino. Alex Eala, of course, is the number 1 seed in this encounter due to her ranking. Largely, of course, boosted by that run in Miami, which Alex touched upon in that interview that we saw just a moment ago. For those of you as well that are tuning in, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, please hit subscribe. All right. Let me know as well in the live chat who you are supporting today, whether you think Eala or Ryser will win, and also, of course, get voting for either player in our poll. Talking of which, there is something that I neglected to do in the last few days, which was announce our Jakub Bobro Player of the Week, which for me has to be, or at least the Jakub Bobro Player of the Tournament, reflecting on the French Open, has to be Louis Boisson, the 22-year-old who had the incredible run all the way to the semi-finals, where she also knocked out Mertens, for example, Kalinina, her countrywoman Jacquemont, but especially Pegula Andreeva in the 4th round and the quarterfinals. Those results just took her into another stratosphere, and in fact, quite literally into another stratosphere, by propelling her from the 300s into the world's top 100 at number 65. So for me, she is a fitting and maybe even the most worthy Jakub Bobro Player award that we have handed out in the history of the award, which dates back almost 2 years. Since, of course, we lost dear Jakub, unfortunately. Also, we had nice comments as well this week from James and Nick on the show in the WTA Weekly, where they reflected on Louis Boisson's run in Roland Garros. So you do check that out. But in the meantime, Alex Eala has held serve for 1 love. Alex, we spoke to her, as I said, in WATCHALONG earlier on this year, where she talked about her favorite Grand Slam to win, Wimbledon, whether she would rather win a Grand Slam or reach world number 1, and she went for the Grand Slam. She also said her preferred surface, maybe unsurprisingly, was hard court. And her clay court season, had some ups and downs, maybe more downs than ups. We saw her in WATCHALONG, of course. She won 1 match there before losing in the 2nd round of the WTA 125. She also mentioned how she was keen to just get a title of some sort at this level. WTA 125, of course, is the level we're at here in Ilkley on the grass, just like in WATCHALONG. But she lost in the 2nd round there to Udvari. I think it was obvious that she does have some limitations at the moment on the surface, despite, of course, being a trainee at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Of course, Rafa Nadal, a renowned clay court specialist. But she does prefer the hard courts. And that's, of course, where she had that memorable run in Miami. So we'll see probably bigger things from her as the season progresses and we get to the sort of North American hard court swing, where, of course, she's a former US Open junior champion. But for now, she's going to have to try and deal with the grass. And maybe she'll have a little bit better luck on the grass than she had on the clay. Yeah, just talking about her clay court season. After WATCHALONG, we then saw her in Madrid, where she had a win in the 1st round over Tomova. And she was up a set and a break on Iga Swiatek. And that's probably as good as it got for her in the clay court season, because she ended up losing 3 matches in a row thereafter, including that Iga Swiatek 2nd round encounter in Madrid, where Iga came back to win in 3 sets. Because then in Rome, she had a very humbling loss to Marta Kostyuk. 6-love, 6-1, I think it was, winning just 1 game against Marta, who really, showed up Alex's weaknesses and limitations on the surface. Of course, after that, she then went to the French Open, where she also lost in the 1st round to Arango. Arango again showing slightly more prowess on clay than Alex. However, here on the grass, we have had a win for Alex after going out in the first round in Birmingham on the grass last week. She got a win in straight sets in the first round over Cabrera, the Australian with Filipino parents, by the way. And yet here we are. She is now in the second round with her first grass court win. After last week losing in Birmingham, she lost to Fruhvirtova in 3 sets there. Here she is up against Ryser. Ryser is serving, and Alex Eala had a small opening there at 15-30. And now it's 30 all. Hi, Millhouse. Millhouse, do hit that like button, and I will address your question very shortly as to where she ranks in terms of lefties on the tour. She'll obviously be behind Leylah Fernandez. For now, at least. Let's get the WTA rankings up. I don't know if it says very quickly on the rankings whether I'll have a quick look at the WTA rankings in a moment. And there we have Loire Boisson climbing 296 places. Sabalenka's a righty. The thing is, I'd have to go from memory here on the top players. Okay. I see, having a look at the score, by the way, right now. Ryser has held serve for 1 all, so it's over to Eala now, who is at 15 all on her serve. Over on centre court, Appleton and Marino. Marino leads by 2 games to 1 with 10 minutes on the clock. So they're a little bit in front in terms of the scoreboard compared to Eala and her match.
Jetzt neu. Fokus Plus.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so Eala here serving at 30-15. I will try and address your question shortly, Millhouse. Hope you're doing well, and you've already hit the like button, by the way. Here we go. Eala, 30-15 on her serve. Where are you going to go with this one? Eala, of course, Millhouse is asking that question because Eala is a lefty herself. Goes into the net on the first serve. Backhand return. Oh, it's a double fault for 30 all. And now they're into the rally. Oh, lovely there from Eala. Cat and mouse play at the net. 40-30, game point. My feeling is that she probably is in the top 5 lefties. just because of her ranking and yeah. I mean, Arena is a righty. Coco is a righty. Jessica Pegula is a righty. Although Layla's ranking will be dropping. I'm not even sure where she is exactly right now in the rankings. And that return from Ryser goes long. And it's 2-1 to Eala. Let's see if we can... Ryser, by the way, won her... she won a match in Birmingham last week. She beat the Brit Miyazaki. And she lost to Cabrera, I think, interestingly. Last week in Birmingham, which of course is the player who Eala beat in the previous round. So I guess that bodes quite well for Alex. Or at least she went out to Cabrera. Okay, here we are. We've got Ryser to serve at 1-2. Let's see how this packs out. Here we go. Forehand, backhand return there from the lefty. That is Alex Eala. And we've got an error on the forehand side from the Swiss. So it's love 15 on the Ryser serve. Forehand return, but that's gone long. So the first serve has gone long. So a second serve here for Eala to look at. Backhand return from Eala. They're in play now. Eala's going to come into the net. Is that going to land in? If that lands in, that's... Wow, that's wild in terms of how that dipped as well. I think Eala's lamenting her fortune there, but in a way, you could also praise and doff your cap to Ryser, who hit an incredible passing shot there. I mean, I think Eala would have struggled to get her racket on it anyway. Forehand return. They're into the rally right now, but Ryser's going to go long with that forehand slice. Well long as well. And it's 15-30. Remember, Eala did have 15-30 on the Ryser serve in the previous service game of the Swiss. Good serve there, though, from the Swiss, and we're at 30 all. Oh, we've got a break point here for Alex Eala. Break point, Alex Eala. So, if these rankings are accurate, and I suspect they are because it's on the Tennis Abstract website, here is the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and more. I will share this with you in a moment, Millhouse, the top left-handed players on the tour in a moment. But here we go. Left-handed return here from Eala. Left-handed down the line into the forehand, therefore, of Ryser. But she's gone long, and Eala gets the early break and leads 3-1. Ryser puts the racket on her head and laments her most recent shot. which was an unforced error on the forehand side, and Eala leads with a break 3-1, the number 1 seed here, thanks to her top 100 ranking. I think she's 77 in the world. Well, here we go, just very quickly. Top left-handed players. Diana Schneider is the highest ranked left-hander at the moment in the top 100 or in the world. She's ranked number 12, so we don't have any lefties in the top 10 at the moment. Beatrice Haddad-Meyer is ranked 22. Leylah Fernandez at 30. Olga Danilovic at 38. Lulu Sun 43, and Alex Eala at 79. So Alex Eala is currently the number 6th ranked player left-handed on the WTA Tour. Probably slightly more importantly, right now in terms of this encounter, she has double faulted, and so it is love 15. Okay, love 15. Love 15 becomes love 30. So Eala there, erring on the back. On the back. On the backhand side as she hits that out. Love 30. Happened quite a few times in both the match with Cabrera, but also the match with Fruhvirtova, when you would see a break that neither player was able to consolidate. Against Cabrera, it was immediate in the first set that Cabrera went up a break and then lost it immediately before they exchanged, I think, 6 holds in a row. For those of you just tuning in, by the way, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Here we are into the rally. Oh, is that going to land out? I think it is. Clenched fist from Eala suggests it does, and it has. 15-30. Okay, where are you going with this serve, Alex? You're going to toss the ball up and drop it down. That's where you're going with it. Okay, still a first serve, though. Into the forehand of Ryser. Forehand Alex down the line. Nice backhand cross court. Is she going to put this away? It's a really tricky one. No, she's not. Is she going to be able to put this one away? She is on the backhand side. A couple of tricky volleys there at the net. At the first smash, Alex's height nearly cost her. Not that she could do much about that, but ultimately it's 30 all. Okay, Eala to serve down the tee, backhand return into the backhand of Eala. Eala comes into the net, but she's going to be passed. Maybe coming into the net was the wrong choice, but if you're going to do so, maybe just with a bit more speed and conviction. So Ryser passes her, and it's 30-40, break point for the Swiss. Alex will be disappointed because she'll know that if she could have consolidated here, she would have had one hand on winning the first set. Okay, Eala to serve and misses on the first serve. Remember, the Eala serve is a little bit vulnerable. It is pretty much her most glaring weakness. Backhand return into... Oh, the backhand returns goes well long. And Alex has probably got away with on there. Ryser will be disappointed with that return. It was extremely makeable, but she missed it by some margin. So, deuce. Gets her serve in here in the first time of asking Alex, but she's on the back foot. But then again, Ryser misses, and it's going to be a game point for Alex Eala to take a 4-1 lead. Ay, ay, ay. And Alex does indeed hold. So, 4-1. Big hold that for Eala to save that break point, winning 3 games in a row. Valentina Ryser. Let's try and get that pronunciation right if we can. Ryser. All right, we'll do what we can. Ryser. So, Ryser, when she returns to the court, will be serving at 1-4. Let me know where in the world you are watching this match from. Do let me know in the live chat on YouTube or on Twitch. Ryser to serve here. 1-4 deficit. Eala's made a healthy start here in Yorkshire, England. Drop shot from Ryser. It's not going to win the point outright, and she's not going to win the point like that either. And surely, yes, indeed, Eala at the net there covering it pretty well. But Ryser had her chances there. She was in charge of the point after the drop shot, but she was kind of probably in 2 minds as to whether she would go for the lob or the passing shot, ultimately executing neither and ultimately paying the price. Good first serve there, though, from the Swiss, but she doesn't do enough with that forehand, and she certainly doesn't do enough with that volley, and it's love 30. Love 30, ladies and gentlemen, as Eala seeks a double break advantage, and if she gets the break here, she'll be serving for the first set in quick time. Okay, but she gets another turn there. That helps her, 15-30. Oh, yeah. Okay, where are you going with this serve? You're going to go into the forehand of Eala. Forehand into the net from Ryser. And it's 15-40, 2 break points for Alex Eala to take a 5-1 lead here in Ilkley at the WTA 125. Eala seeking her first title. This is a round of 16 clash. If she wins, she'll play again tomorrow in the quarterfinals. But that's still a long way away, but she'll at least be halfway there if she wins this first set. Double fault from Ryser. Double fault from the Swiss. And it's 5-1 Alex Eala. Of course, she won her first match on the grass courts of this grass court season just a couple of days ago, beating the Australian Cabrera in straight sets, 7-6, 6-3. That was after her early exit in the first round of Birmingham last week, also a WTA 125. To Kvitova. Good first serve there from Eala. Is she going to put this forehand away? She is. 5-1, 15 love. 3 points away from winning the first set. If you're watching and you haven't hit the like button, please do so now. Okay, Eala here serving 15 love. Second serve. Ooh. Oh, double fault for Eala, 15 all. Is she going to struggle to serve this out in this first set? Time will tell. Okay, Eala, where are you going with this one? You are going into the forehand, and that's a miscued forehand from Ryser. Ryser's level so far in this first set has been a long way off what it needs to be if she's going to win this tennis match. 30-15, Alex Eala, the #1 seed. 2 points away from winning the first set. Can she get the job done? 30-15. With this serve, you are going to toss the ball up once again and not hit it. A little bit of breeze out there. Maybe even a bit more than a little bit. Not quite French Open final levels, but backhand into the net. That took a very low bounce. And that's grass for you, my friend. That is the grass court season. Welcome. Interesting. Ryser, the translation is almost like grass, because in German, Reisen is grass. It would be a mispronunciation, albeit. Anyway, forget that nonsense. 2 set points here. Alex Eala, where are you going with this one? You're into the forehand of Ryser. Now on the forehand again. Now into the backhand of Ryser. But she goes into the net, which sums up her first set. Alex Eala gets over the line, 6-1. An unforced error from Ryser, almost on the attack there with that short ball, but she puts it into the net, albeit the sort of roof of the net, and Eala leads by 1 set to love, halfway towards the quarter-finals in Ilkley in Northern England. Having a quick look at the first set stats, I should say, sorry, not first stats. Well, I guess they are at the end of the first set. 1 ace for Eala, none from Ryser. 3 double faults from Eala and just 1 from Ryser. That'll disappoint Alex. But she's getting 78% of her first serves in, which is really helping her. And in fact, she's won 77% of her first serves and only 34% on second serve. But if you're getting 77% of your first serves in on grass, you're probably going to be holding serve. Even Eala with her, dare I say, powder puff first serve. 6-1. She won that first set in pretty quick time, less than half an hour, as she seeks a place in the quarterfinals. Shall we have a look at the draw, by the way? And also, by the way, just a reminder as well that Ryser is currently ranked 230 in the world. So there is a fair gap in the rankings, even if Eala is a bit of a novice on this surface. So, yeah, Eala, of course, well inside the top 100, whereas her opponent is well outside the top 200, if that makes sense. Yeah, I said I was going to have a quick look at the draw in Ilkley for this WTA 1-2-5. Also, of course, we've got another match going on over on centre court. Appleton is serving for the first set. We did interview Appleton, by the way, earlier on this year in Portugal, so do check that out if you get a chance. She talks about how she played Iga Swiatek earlier on in her career and had some success. Okay, anyway, I did say I was going to share the draw with you. And Alex Eala, of course, at the top of the draw. She will be playing the winner of Appleton and Marino in the next round. Appleton, of course, the Brit, so that'll be a tricky one should Eala come up against her. But, of course, Marino is the #8 seed and, yeah, has had some success on the tour. So that'll be tricky. Anyway, that is for another day. In fact, that other day will be tomorrow. For now, we've got Ryser here serving at the beginning of the second set and is down love 15. Second serve as well for Eala to look at here. That does land in, though. Oh, lovely forehand there from Ryser. And it's 15 all. Gets her first point of the second set. Okay. Ryser serving here, 15 all. Chop return, is that? No, because the first serve clipped the net, so it's a let. Still a first serve, though. Hence, Eala is pretty far behind the baseline. That first serve is going to be well wide, and with some venom as well. It ends up shaking the camera a little bit as it bounces off the hoardings. Second serve. Now Eala's almost inside the baseline, but her backhand goes into the net. 30-15. Ryser. Remember to hit the like button, and of course, if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe. We'll get to 20,000 eventually, but the sooner we get there, the better. First serve into the net. So second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. 30-15, Ryser leads at the beginning of this second set. Backhand return is loopy from Eala. They're into the rally right now with some decent amount of net clearance. Eala just picking up the pace there and forcing the error maybe. Either way, Eala wins the point as Ryser nets. And that didn't even come close to landing over the net. Okay, Ryser to serve, 30-all. Where are you going with this serve? You're going down the tee. It's a really good serve from Ryser. Unreturned serve. Too good. 40-30. Okay, Ryser serve. Where are you going with this one? You are going into the forehand of Eala. Has Eala gone long there? No, she hasn't. Good cross court there, though, from Eala, and it's deuce. Not much Ryser could do about that. Eala will, of course, be in the first round main draw at Wimbledon, so no qualifying for Alex. Be her second consecutive slam where she automatically enters the main draw. Okay. Backhand return here from Eala is very good, although maybe just clipped the net on the way through. Wasn't super visible, but we do have a break point already at the beginning of this second set for Alex Eala. Forehand return there from Alex. Now it's on the backhand of Eala. Now she's on the forehand. She's going to come into the net. Is she going to put this volley away? Has her forehand gone long? It has. So the Eala forehand went long, and we are back to deuce. Couldn't have been far long, but long it was. Deuce. Unforced error there off the racket of Alex Eala on the forehand side. As she just went long. Crucial moment that would have been. Would then be up a set and a break if she'd have won that point. Second serve here for Alex to look at as Ryser goes long with the first one. But we can see a bust there, look. Backhand return here from Eala into the forehand of Ryser, but once again the Ryser forehand breaks down, and once again we have a break point for Alex Eala to get a real stranglehold on this match and lead by a set and a break. She hasn't been threatened too much on first serve, and really no surprise with that when she's getting 77% of her first serves in that first set that Alex got. And we're going to have a second serve here for Alex to look at. Look at her now prowling on the baseline. Where are you going with this serve, Ryser? Into the forehand, now into the rally. Backhand from Eala into the forehand of Ryser. Ooh, that was loopy and just landed in from Ryser. We've seen how many errors she's made on the forehand side already. But lovely backhand down the line from Eala. And Ryser's got a net. 1-love. Eala leads. They will change ends. 1-love. Eala's already up a set and a break. Ryser had her chances in that match, or in that game, sorry. But it is Eala who draws first blood in this second set at the WTA 125 in Ilkley, Northern England. Yorkshire is the county, to be precise. Okay, Eala to serve at 1-love. Do let me know where you're tuning in from, which country or even which city in the world are you watching from? I'm in Germany. Where are you? Let me know in the live chat. Also get voting in our poll. Be interesting to see how the poll is doing. I would imagine Eala's got quite a lot of votes. Just a guess. Yeah, 93% of the 115 people that voted have voted for Alex Eala. She is up a serve and a break, so I see that poll even only going stronger for Alex. Forehand winner, lovely forehand winner there. Brings up 15 all after she lost the first point. Excuse me, 15 all. Where are you going with this serve? You're going into the forehand of Ryser. That lands in from Ryser. That also lands in on the forehand side. Took a funny bounce. Alex did well to deal with that. She remains in the rally here. What a backhand cross-court winner that is, though, from Ryser. 15-30. 15-30, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still with you. Just going to get my charger for my phone, for my laptop. Still here, 15-30 here, so an element of danger. There was a similar moment in the first set when Alex got the first break, where it looked like she was in danger of not being able to consolidate, but consolidate she did, and then she got another break to eventually win that first set, 6-1 with a double break, of course. 15-30 here. Ryser mishits the forehand return, but gets away with it. She's going to stay in the point. Oh, and Eala nets on the volley. Very lucky there, Ryser, in two respects. One is that she mishit that forehand pretty badly, but got away with it because it landed still in. Eala still had a little bit of work to do, but really should have done better, both with the potential easy shot that she had at the beginning there, or in that first moment, but then also the volley. Really should be disappointed that she didn't, at the very least, make it over the net, but really, more importantly, she should have put that away and win the point. Anyway, it is what it is, but she saves the first break point, so it's 30-40. 1 ace so far in this match from Alex Eala, 0 from Valentina Ryser. It was Alex's first serve percentage in the first set that helped her hold serve throughout. Can she get a first serve here? Yes, but she's not won the point yet. They're into the rally, 50-50 right now. Cross court they go. Eala errs, and Ryser gets the break back. 1 game all. She went long there on the forehand side. As they were exchanging cross court, she decided to go long line, changing direction. And that tiny element of change and that tiny element of risk ended up being too much because she erred and went long. So in the first set, we had 2 breaks, both going the way of Eala. This set, we've had 2 breaks as well, but it's been 1 break of serve each, and we're at 1 all. Good news, though, for Eala is that Ryser has been struggling to hold all match, having done so just once in the entire match thus far. And she puts that volley, which really she should have made, into the net. Now 15. You do feel as though there's more breaks of serve in this match to come. But that's a good serve from Ryser. Maybe Eala misinterpreted that ball toss or action because she seemed to be sort of in the wrong position there to get that return. 15 all. Now the wind is getting up. Ryser here serving at 15 all. Please, if you are new to the channel or haven't hit subscribe already, hit that subscribe button. It's just below the screen. Ryser now at 30-15, so winning back-to-back points here to make things look a little bit more comfortable for the Swiss. She's decked out in blue, by the way, blue top, white bottoms and sneakers. Eala is getting ready for Wimbledon, it seems, because she's all in white. Could be cream, but I think it's white. Let me know what you think in the live chat. 30-15 here, Ryser to serve, and she goes long with the first serve. Second serve for Alex to look at. Backhand return, forehand from Ryser. Forehand now to the backhand of Ryser. Forehand cross court from Eala. Oh, that's a lovely angle that Alex has created there. 30 all. Okay. Forehand here from Ryser. Goes long, does it? Or did chalk fly up? No, it did go long. Break point, Alex Eala, 30-40. 30-40, ladies and gentlemen. So, can Eala get a re-break here to again take charge of this match? Forehand return is going to land in. Backhand now. Forehand slice there from Eala. And she gets the break because Ryser goes too long with the forehand. A tale of this match so far has been errors on the forehand side from the Swiss. And it's 2-1, Alex Eala. We'll take a quick break and then we'll be with you for the remainder of this second set. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, all things tennis. And by the way, Eala here, trying to consolidate her break, just like she did in her previous service game, but was unable to do so, is love 15 down on her serve. Here we go. Oh, is that a double fault? I think it is. And Alex is lamenting the weather in terms of the wind, but it is, of course, the same for both players. But I think she's pretty convinced that the wind was to blame there for that double fault. And maybe it is a cream outfit as we give you an outfit update, color, etc. Love 30 now. Okay, forehand from Ryser. That's a good forehand from her. And there's an error from Eala, also on the forehand side. She's put it wide into the tram line, and we have 3 break back points for Ryser. Remember, Ryser's only held serve once in the entire match, and that was right at the beginning of this encounter. in her first service game. But now it's Eala who's also struggling to hold serve. And she's also struggling to get her first serves in, something that wasn't the case in the first set. Okay, where are you going with this serve? You're going into the backhand of... oh, is that a... Oh, what a forehand winner from Alex Eala there. Really taking that early, unerringly so. And it's 15-40, but still 2 more break points to save for Alex. Ooh. Well long with that first serve. Second serve. So again, that wonderful percentage that Eala had in the first set in terms of her first serve is evading her here. And she's gone long, has she, on the backhand side? She has. 2-all. Ryser, just like on the previous game, breaks back immediately. And this second set so far, we have had 4 breaks of serve. As the first serve, unlike the first set, is now evading Alex. 2-all. She needs to start getting her first serves in, but then Ryser will say, look, I just need to start getting some forehands in. And maybe backhands too there, because it's love 15 after Ryser errs on the backhand side, putting it wide in the tram lines. Love 15. Backhand return, backhand from Ryser. That's a backhand winner this time from the Swiss, 15-all. Could maybe give you a bit of sound. Let's see if we can give you some sound, ladies and gentlemen. Forehand return here from Alex. That's a good forehand return, really good. And Ryser, you know, probably it's an unforced, in fact, it is an unforced error, no doubt about it, but it's also in part down to Eala's return. $30-all now, though. Do hit that like button, by the way, people. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. And now we have a game point for Ryser, 40-30. Remember, she's only held serve once in the entire match. Can she make it a hold for the second time? Second serve here for Alex to look at. Forehand return is good. And again, it's that forehand return that's doing some damage because Ryser can't deal with it and it's at deuce. Wimbledon is less than 3 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen. Remember when there used to be a 2-week break between the French Open and Wimbledon? It's now 3 weeks. Forehand return from Eala lands in. And those forehand returns, again, are doing some damage, but she's going to have to chase this one down. Oh, lovely slice there. That was close to the line from Eala, but she gets a break point, and the clenched fist is out once more. And again, Ryser struggling to serve, hold serve. Break point, Alex Eala for a 3-2 lead. It'll be her 3rd break in this second set, and yet it'll only be a 3-2 lead. Ryser there doesn't make the first serve, so a second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. Advantage to the Filipina. Can she take advantage here of this second serve scenario? Forehand return. Again, the forehand, pretty good return, but there's some good depth there from both players, actually. Oh, but Ryser's gone out, and Eala gets the break. 3-2 she leads with another break advantage yet again. But every time she's broken so far in this set, she's not been able to consolidate. 3-2, Alex Eala leads. So that is a set and a break. And ultimately, she is getting closer to the finish line with that 3-2 advantage. Remember, Eala is going to be playing in the next round the winner of Appleton and Marino. And let me tell you now, the Brit Appleton is up a set and a break on the Canadian Marino. So as things stand, we are looking at an Emily Appleton, Alex Eala quarterfinal at this WTA 125. Obviously, a lot of tennis still to be played. Eala's got to go on to win this match, and so has Appleton. But that is looking like the most likely quarterfinal matchup in Ilkley at the moment, as things stand. So, Eala leads here, 6-1, 3-2 with a break. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're new. And by the way, if you want, you can become a member by clicking join just below the screen. If you click join, by the way, you can become a member and you can enjoy all the perks that come with that, including some exclusive bonus footage for members only, including some Alex Eala content, by the way, and a bunch of other stuff, bunch of other videos that for you, for only members. And it's only €2 or from €2, $2 or £2 a month. There are other options where you can spend more money, and you know what you'll be doing? It's a win-win situation because you'll be helping the channel too. All right, promo over. Eala to serve here at 3-2. Love, as you can hear the umpire say. Alex Eala here serving, seeking to consolidate for the first time in the set. Neither player has held serve in this second set. We've had 5 breaks of serve. Eala will be keen to get some first serves in here, like she did in the first set. She does here, backhand return, backhand from Eala, forehand from Ryser. They're into the rally here. Both players getting some decent depth here. Now it's on the Ryser backhand. Eala defends, but she can't defend that, and it's 15 all. She got the first serve in there, but that was a lovely backhand cross court there from Ryser. 15 all. Okay. Eala to serve. Where are you going with this serve? You are going to toss the ball up and just catch it. Goes down the tee. Backhand return. Backhand there from Eala. Lovely change of direction from Alex. And it's going to force the error from Ryser as she goes long. 30-15. Eala leads here 3-2, 30-15. 2 points away from a precious hold. One that she's been unable to get in this second set, just like Ryser as well. Ryser's held just once in the entire match, a reminder. Anyway, 30-15. We see that bus again in the background. I don't know who they're ferrying around. Backhand return. Forehand now from Eala. Really good depth there from Alex, but it's not won the point yet. But she goes back behind Ryser. That's smart from Alex, belying her tender age. 40-15, 2 game points for the Filipina for a 4-2 lead. Will it be decisive? Let's see. Given Ryser's vulnerability on serve, a 4-2 lead would feel pretty important in this second set. Goes down the tee there with that first serve. That was a pretty cautious first serve, I would suggest. Now it's on the backhand of Ryser. But she errs, and it is a hold of serve for Alex Eala. 4-2. Just too many unforced errors off the racket of Ryser today. Deary me. 2-4, Ryser serves. We've just had 1 hold so far in this set, but it might be enough for Eala to ultimately get over the finish line in this match. Okay, where are you going to serve here? You're going into the forehand of Alex, and she's been returning so well on the forehand in this second set, and she returns well again with excellent depth, albeit not a lot of pace, but Ryser was still not able to react, and she hits an unforced error into the tram line. Love 15. A Swiss here in a lot of trouble now, as we hit an hour on the clock for this match. Forehand here from Reeds is going to be too good, though. That short ball, she punishes it. She's not always punished the short ball today. 15 all. Hello, Nerlan. Nice of you to join the party as we head into potentially the latter stages of this match. Ball toss goes awry. 15 all. Rita serving here. Oh, an ace down the tee for Rita. I think that's her first ace of the match. 30-15. If she holds here, then maybe that'll give Alex something to think about. Oh, Alex mishits the return into the net. 40-15, 2 game points for Rita to hold for the first time in almost an hour. She held at the beginning of the match. Alex served first, by the way. Did Alex serve first? Yeah, she did. Good return there from Alex. Forehand here into the forehand of Alex. Forehand goes long from Rita, and it's 40-30. So she's not held yet. Do let me know where in the world you are watching this match from. If you've just joined and you haven't already done so, hit the like button. And subscribe if you're new. First serve goes wide. So a second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. Break here. And she'll almost be able to touch. She'll almost be able to taste that quarterfinal berth. Forehand return. It's been pretty beneficial for her today. She's going to come into the net. Here is Alex. Can she be passed? Not yet. Can she be passed at the second time of asking? No. Rita goes long just with that passing shot. Deuce. Oh, Rita just can't hold serve for love nor money. Okay, deuce here, Rita. Can she get a first serve in? I'll give her a hell of a chance to get to game point. She does. Backhand return. Now they're into the rally, but the backhand from Rita goes long. She bends down to adjust her shoelace, but I don't think, unless it's going to adjust her game, then I don't think it's going to make much difference. Break point here for Alex Eala and a 5-2, an incredibly commanding lead in this second set. Break point. Rita, misplaced ball toss, but that could well be down to the wind that we can see. And here, Eala here to return. First serve goes into the net, and I think that was also wind assisted. Second serve. Where are you going with this? You are going to go long, double fault. The wind there again playing its part, and Rita cutting a forlorn figure as they change ends. When they return, it'll be Eala to serve for the match. 6-1, 5-2 she leads. Rita held in the second game of the match, and she hasn't held since. How many breaks of serve is that for Alex in a row? Let's try and think about this. 1-1, 2-1, 4-1, 6-1. And then she's had 4 breaks of serve, I think, here. Yeah, I think so. So I think it's 7 breaks in a row for Alex to get into this very commanding position where she's now leading 6-1, 5-2 and will serve for the match. Let's see if we can find some stats for you for this particular encounter. Time. So they're going to return to the court. One ace each, 4 double faults for Eala, and it seems like just 1 double fault for Rita, and that came in that previous game there as she faced a break point. Just having a quick look as well at the poll. Unsurprisingly, Eala winning that one pretty comfortably. Okay, Eala here serving for the match, and she leads 15-love already on her serve after that drop shot did the trick in terms of winning the point. And she's 3 points away from a place in the Ilkley quarterfinal. So Eala is serving into the ad court, 15-love. She leads. Nice, sunny, albeit very breezy day in Ilkley in Yorkshire, Northern England. Remember, Eala will play the winner of Manorino at Appleton in the quarterfinal, should she win this particular encounter with Ryser, which she's very close to doing so right now. Forehand from Eala into the backhand, which is going to be a drop shot from Ryser. It's not going to win the point outright. Redrop from Eala. Now it feels like Eala's in charge of the point, but she didn't put that backhand volley away. Not quite into the open court, but you feel as though as long as it goes over the net, she wins that point. 15 all. She doesn't win the point. By the way, the WTA website has 1 double fault for Ryser, whilst Google has 4 double faults for Ryser, which seems like a huge discrepancy. And it does feel like Ryser's hit more than 1 double fault today. So, okay. Forehand return from Ryser into the backhand of Eala. Forehand from Ryser into the forehand of Eala, who goes cross court. But lovely backhand down the line there. Good defense from Eala. Drop shot there is going to work for Ryser, the Swiss. It's 15-30. It's more of a dink shot as she approached the net there. It was good defense from Eala, to be fair. But it's 15-30. In what's been a breakfest of a second set, Eala in this position because she's the one who's actually managed to hold thus far in this set. On one occasion. 15-30, Eala to serve. Where are you going with this serve? You are going to throw the ball up and let it bounce. That wind is wreaking havoc with both players today, especially in this second set, and especially on serve. Backhand return there from Ryser's good, but they're into the rally here. Backhand from Eala's good change of direction there from Alex. Forehand as well, pushing Ryser deep, but that's good defense from the Swiss. And it's Eala who goes long with the forehand. 15-40. 2 break points for Valentina Ryser. Remember to hit the like button. We might not have much longer left of this stream, so please hit the like button. And if you haven't done so, why haven't you subscribed? All right, no further questions, Your Honor. Okay, Eala hit to serve, 15-40. Down the tee, good serve there, and it's Ryser who goes into the net, 30-40. Ryser's up to 2 double faults on the stats on the WTA website, even though she's not even serving right now. So who knows what's going on with these stats? Okay, 30-40. Second serve here for Ryser to look at. Backhand return. Forehand from Eala. Clips the net on the way through. A slice from Ryser goes into the net, and Eala apologizes for that net cord. But it's helped her save the second of those 2 break points. And we are at deuce, ladies and gentlemen. Eala is 2 points away from winning the match and a place in the quarterfinals in this WTA 125 tournament in Ilkley, in Yorkshire, Northern England. Goes down the tee there, does Alex, but it's missed the spot. So it's going to be a second serve for Ryser to look at. Forehand return. Backhand from Eala. Forehand into the forehand of Eala. Eala, nice change of direction there. Really good shot there from Eala. Pinpoint. Almost on the line. And Ryser couldn't get to that one. At least not enough on the racket from her. And it goes into the net. And we have a match point for Alex Eala, the #1 seed here in Ilkley at this WTA 125 event, for a spot in the quarterfinals. Can she get over the line here? First match point she has held. She goes into the backhand of Ryser here. Now they're into the rally here. Ryser here getting some good depth on her shots. Now it's in the backhand, but onto the forehand as Eala defends. Ryser on the attack. But it's Ryser who goes long there. And it's Alex Eala who does indeed get over the line, winning this encounter in straight sets. 6-1, 6-2. She is into the quarterfinals here in Ilkley at the 125 event. She takes the applause on court one. She will be in the quarterfinals. As I said, she's awaiting the winner of Appleton and Marino in the next round. The stats, by the way, I will share with you on the screen. These are, of course, from the WTA website, so maybe we should take these with a pinch of salt, bearing in mind what we have seen before. We see 1 ace from each player, 4 double faults off the racket of Alex Eala, and 2 off the racket of Valentina Ryser, but one of those coming in that previous game where she was broken, and that gave Eala the chance to serve for the match, which she duly did, taking her first match point there. Some good defense there from Alex at times in that second set, and on that last point. Really a huge factor in the match was the wind, and I don't think it helped either player, especially in the second set, but Eala ultimately did deal with that wind slightly better. Ryser held serve in her first service game of the match, but wasn't able to hold serve again at all, which cost her dearly, losing the match 6-1, 6-2, despite the fact that Eala hit double the number of break points of Ryser. There we can see as well, Eala was much more ruthless in terms of her break point conversion. In fact, Ryser had 7 break points, but was only able to break twice, whereas Eala was able to break 6 of her 7 break point opportunities and breaking 6 times in a row. It went 1-love to Eala, then 1-all, and then she wins 5 games in a row to win that first set with consummate ease, as it turned out. She had a really good first serve percentage to Eala. It really helped her win this match, no doubt about that. And that was something that really served her in good stead. There we go. So you can see almost 77% of her first serves going in, which helped her hold serve just a little bit more frequently than the Swiss opponent. She also won 64% of her first serves, whereas Ryser was just always vulnerable on that first serve. I do think the wind had a huge factor, but ultimately you got to deal with it, as Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka can testify to. Yeah, so that rounds off today's encounter in Ilkley. And as I say, it is a quarterfinal for Alex now, where she'll be playing either the Brit, Emily Appleton, or the Canadian Rebecca Manarino. And Emily Appleton was up a set and a break, but she has ceded that break in the second set. Do check out an interview, by the way, that we do have with Emily on the channel, where she reflects on beating Iga Swiatek in the juniors. But for now, it's Eala who's into the quarterfinals with her second grass court win of this grass court season, having beaten Cabrera in the previous round. Obviously lost in her first and only encounter on the grass courts of Birmingham last week at the WTA 125 there. But Eala is safely through. Wonderful that you could join me today for this particular encounter. I'm going to leave you with the remainder of an interview that we conducted with Alex Eala earlier on this year. So please do enjoy that. And for everybody else, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Let me tell you, I'm definitely not normally like this when I lose.
No.
But this was definitely a special circumstance. I remember the last couple of match points, I was able to save a match point, you know.
Yeah.
And I just tried to prolong the match as long as I could because I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And then after I sat down, after the handshake, I looked up and just so many flags of the Philippines and so many Filipinos. It was past midnight, they were there to stay, and I had just had the best run of my career so far. So there was so much to be happy about in that moment, yeah.
Cool. So that's that. Now, this is quite recently, I believe. I think this is after your run. But also I want to know about Rafa and the influence both his academy, but even Rafa as a player has had on you.
Well, I've been there since I was 13, so obviously deeply rooted with the academy. Rafa has been a role model, you know, someone to look up to for so long, and I think the values match the values that the academy instills matched with the values that my family had when they were raising me. So that's why they felt so comfortable to send me over there. And of course, they have a part in a big part in my game. Yeah.
And Rafa the player?
Rafa the player.
Did you enjoy his career? Or were you a fan?
Of course. I don't know who doesn't enjoy Rafa as a player. I remember I watched him one time in center court in French Open when I was young. So before even going to the academy, and it's crazy to see the intensity he has and the way he hits the ball. So much to look up to.
Cool. What about here in Huerash? What would it mean? I mean, you've not won a WTA title yet. What would that mean potentially if you were to have a good week here, for example, and maybe even lift the trophy?
It would mean a lot. I think right now what I need is a lot of hours on court, a lot of hours playing at a level that, I'm happy with, and a level that I know I'm capable of. So this is a tournament that will help me do that.
Cool. Last question. I'd like to know about some sort of future goals, maybe even just for 2025. Okay. Do you look at sort of things like, obviously you're going to be in the Slam draw, you're going to be in the main draw now at the French Open. Perhaps that was a goal. But what about now? Because the goals never end, right?
Of course. No, of course. My original goal for 2025 was to finish in top 100 or at least to touch it. And now that I have touched it, it's a lot of new territory for me. So I'm trying to take it match by match, and I feel that's also why this tournament is important, because I'm coming off from such a good week, and I'm starting the clay season. So I give myself the space to figure it out, and then we'll see what my next set of goals are. I'm sure my team already has their own set of goals, but personally, I want to see how the situation unfolds.
But is winning a title, just a title of whether it be 125, 250, is that one of the next goals?
Yes, of course. You always go into the tournament with the mindset that you can win it, and some tournaments maybe there's a lower chance of that happening, and some tournaments maybe there's a higher chance, but you'll always have a chance.
I do have one more actually. Did Miami surprise you? I mean, you said coming into a tournament you feel as though you have a good chance maybe of having a good run, but did you expect the semi-finals there?
No, I did not. So yes, it did surprise me. I think Miami 1000 is WTA 1000 is one of the tournaments where I had the lower chance of holding the trophy, but I'm so proud that I was even able to come close, and the way I did it, I had such a tough draw.
I know.
So I had a tough draw. I really had a tough draw.
I mean, you had Madison Keys.
I didn't even realize, because you just look at the first, you're trying to get through one obstacle at a time, and after I passed each one, I'm like, it's just getting harder.
Yeah. Because it was Madison, Iga, and Jessica, wasn't it? And then
I had Yelena, I had Katie.
Yeah, Yelena as well.
I had Madison, and then Badosa, who unfortunately withdrew, and then Iga, and then Jessica.
It was
just if I had won, it would have been Arena. So it's so funny to look back on. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to try to pass the ball.
Go. Sorry. Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.